Here's some advice for anyone starting their whiskey journey that I wish I would have had. All right, so if you're clicking on this video, obviously you're either a beginner or you're trying to kind of rebrush up, or you've made some mistakes and want to go back and fix some things and figure out why you're not progressing and things like that, right? So number one, start with mainstream brands first. Jim Beam, Wild Turkey, Jack Daniels, Old Forester, fill in the blank, right? Start with their kind of mid-shelf stuff. For example, Wild Turkey. You don't have to start with 101, but I think 101 is a great starter. The reason I say you don't have to start with 101 is because that was such a common bottle that people kind of just got drunk and sick on, so they got a bad taste in their mind. So move up to Rare Breed, right? That is a single barrel it's a barrel proof bourbon that is going to be super high quality. It's in every single store. It's readily available, and it's not expensive at all. It's like 60 bucks. And then progress up that ladder of each brand. So for example, let's go back to Jack Daniels because they have a really good ladder. So you don't have to start with Jack number 7. Again, I know we all have bad experiences with that. Start with Jack Bonded. They have 3 different kinds. They have the triple mash, which is red. They have the bonded rye, and then they have the bonded, which same as mash bill number 7, but it's 4 years old, a little bit higher proof. So it's a much better embodiment of what they have to offer. And then go up from there. Go to the single barrel select, single barrel strength, the heritage barrel, and then you get into the 10, 12, 14, Cool Hill. Just work your way up each mainstream distillery's ladder, and then you'll figure out what you do and don't like, okay? So for example, if you like the Jack Daniels mash bill, or you like the Jack Daniels profile, okay, well, what other Tennessee whiskeys do well? I have a lot of Tennessee whiskeys on my channel. Find somebody else that has some Tennessee whiskeys. Do some Google searches that have Tennessee whiskeys that are top brands, top sellers, things like that, right? If you like more of the Old Forester mash bill, okay, what is their mash bill? What are they doing? Why do I like that? Okay, so you gotta just you gotta figure out what you like and don't like first, and then just explore that. Category number 2, find somebody you trust. So for example, YouTubers or a veteran that's been doing this for 5 or 6 years, that's bought a lot of bottles, and not just bought to have a cool collection, but actually drinks things and explores things, goes to distilleries, things like that, right? So find a whiskey tuber that your palate kind of aligns with. And if that's me, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? But find someone that, okay, whenever they rank Buffalo Trace, it is similar to you. Whenever they rank Jack Daniels, it's similar to you. Whenever they rank this really weird brand that no one's ever heard of, it's like, oh, that's similar to me, right? Follow them, because they're probably not gonna lead you wrong. Maybe 1 out of every 15 bottles is gonna be, you're gonna disagree with, right? But find someone who has your palate and kind of your experience, where you wanna be experience-wise, and follow that, right? Number 3, find a store where you can either earn points or build a relationship with, right? Total Wine, there's some kind of bigger chain stores in different states that kind of cover the state. Now Tennessee doesn't have chain stores because you only own 2 in Tennessee under the one brand. But in your Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana regions, you'll have a lot of mom and pop stuff. What you kind of need to stay away from is people who don't really know anything about whiskey or care, right? So if you walk into a store and the owner just wants to sell you the most expensive thing, doesn't want to have a conversation with you, they might have some good bottles. They really might, because I've been in those stores. But you're not going to get anything special from them usually, because they don't care. They don't want to build a relationship with you. Maybe they have a point system, so you could go onto that. I have a store where I don't have a good relationship with the owner, but there's a point system. So it's like, pick one of those, right? Or maybe there's both. But if you can get a relationship with somebody and you strike up a conversation with them, and you talk about, hey, your kids and their kids, you probably go to the same school and blah, 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 like, you're more likely to get that special bottle for MSRP or whatever it might be, right? And don't be scared. Like, if you have some good stuff, bring some samples into them, right? If they enjoy whiskey, they are going to be the kind of person who likes to share that experience, right? People that are in this world want to have a relationship and want to experience and share with each other their really cool whiskey. So if you find somebody like that, bring some of your cool samples and share it with them, right? And whenever you buy a really cool bottle from them, crack it, give them a pour, right? You buy some super allocated 4 Roses or Pappy or whatever it is, crack it in the store, give them a pour. That'll go farther than you know. Number 4, find stores that have sampling, or try a pour at a bar first. So here's kind of 2 parts. Find stores that will allow you to try samples. A lot of places will have, if they're kind of bigger store, they'll have like a little bar off to the side that has, I don't know, 25 to 30 bottles that are always open. And it's gonna be a lot of store picks and things like that. And that kind of goes into the building relationship thing too. Like, stores really like you to buy their store picks because they took the time to go and do that pick. Now, sometimes they pawn it off on somebody else, but they still invested something into buying this single barrel of Jack or turkey or whatever it is. Like, they took time to do that. And whenever they see that being bought, they notice that, right? And a lot of times if it's a point store, you'll get double points for buying the store picks, right? So find somewhere you can sample, or if there's a bottle you really want to try and you're not seeing a lot of reviews on it, go find it at a bar, right? Even if it's a kind of expensive pour, it's better to spend $30 or $40 in one pour and know you don't like it than to go spend $300 or $400 in a raffle or pay secondary prices and be like, oh, kind of made a mistake. For example, me and my brother just did Pappy 15, not impressed at all, right? And that bottle's really, really expensive, even if you're finding it for MSRP. So glad that I tried a sample of it before I went like, oh, it's Pappy, it's great, like I'm gonna buy it. No, it's not, okay? All right, number 5, join a Facebook or local bourbon group. So here's what I mean by that. So if you get on Facebook and type in your city, X city bourbon or whiskey or whatever group, you'll find pages of people that are like you that want to share and communicate and do bottle trades and bottle shares and meet up and things like that. I'm not really on Facebook as much as other people's with that, like with the groups. I kind of like the in-person groups more, but Facebook's kind of how you find those groups. So there are a lot of groups in every city where every Tuesday night or once a month they will come together. You'll bring a bottle, everyone do a blind pour of everything. They'll do raffles. You meet friends and hey, I've been looking for this bottle for a long time. Well, oh, I got this and I don't really want it. You want to buy it from me? Things like that, right? Find a bourbon group. You'll be able to try things that you haven't had before. You'll see things that you've never seen before. It's a really cool experience. It builds friendship. It builds community. It's a great plus. All right, number 6, try all kinds of different spirits and periodically retry them. So for example, I have hated Scotch for my entire journey until 3 or 4 months ago. So educating yourself on each spirit, taking time to really appreciate it and not just being like, oh, that's Scotch, that's disgusting, it's stupid, it's not American. Those are all true, but it is good, right? I've learned to like them. I've learned to like different spirits, and in learning and educating yourself on different spirits helps you understand the ones you like to begin with, right? So when you study the finishing techniques of Scotch, whether doing ex-bourbon barrels or sherry barrels, well, now I gotta learn what sherry is, right? So I go into that world, and that's 5 or 6 different categories. And then you go into the wine world, and then you kind of come back into the beer world. Like, each group will give you another piece of the puzzle to help you understand and appreciate what you're drinking. And usually when you can appreciate the process and the culture and the history and the heritage, that drink means a lot more. And that's why bourbon's so cool for Americans. It's like, this is us, right? This is our culture, our heritage. This is an experience. It's not just throwing back some liquor to get drunk. This is not vodka, right? This is a culture, and that's what makes it really cool, okay? Last but not least, number 7, visit distilleries, okay? Everything from the big mainstream distilleries to the craft distilleries. Now, I'm gonna preface this with, the big distilleries will be beautiful and they're big, right? You get to see beautiful grounds and you get to see their process. You might not get the same experience at a big distillery you get at a craft distillery, because craft distillery really wants to sell you and they really want to be kind of intimate and family with you. You will be trying their best products at craft distilleries. At big time distilleries, you're not. And you can't buy their best bottles. If I wanted to buy Russell's 13 or Single Rick House from Wild Turkey, can't do it. Like, they don't sell it. You can get a pour of it at their bar for pretty expensive, but I can't. I'm gonna drive all the way across the country, plan this big trip, and I can't even buy the bottles that I wanted to get at the place that makes them, right? Now, there's third-party things that make that difficult. That's why they don't do it. But if I go to a place, what I hear a lot about is Whiskey Thief. I hear that's one of the coolest, most intimate, small town distillery or small craft distilleries out there. And they're just with you. Like, the master distillers coming out and talking with you and experiencing with you and sharing with you, and you're learning their process. Places like Wood Hat in Missouri, like really weird, random processes and different grains they're using. It's such a cool experience, and you get to learn so much more and be more saturated and exposed to what really goes on in the whiskey market, right? So do both. Experience the huge, big, cool distilleries of Jim Beam and Wild Turkey and Jack Daniels, but also go to those small town, small family, small business owned craft distilleries. So again, if you are a beginner and you want to advance, or if you're kind of just looking for some more answers, here's the steps one more time. Number 1, start with mainstream distilleries and work your way up the ladder. Number 2, find a whiskey YouTuber or an experienced veteran that you trust. Very similar palate to you, things that you like. Number 3, find stores that either have points or kind of good old boys where you can build a relationship with them and share some of your cool stuff with them. Number 4, find stores that have sampling or try a pour at a bar. Number 5, join a Facebook or local bourbon group. Usually those will be kind of one and the same. Number 6, try as many different things as you can, even if you don't like them, and then retry them every 6 months, okay? Let your palate develop. Number 7, visit as many distilleries as you can. So I hope this was really helpful to you guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Any questions that I can answer to help your journey as well. I'm always here for that. Look forward to seeing you in the comments and in the next video.
Smell you later.
Smell you later. Smell you later.